Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at abstract classes. So what we're going to do is modify the geometric object class hierarchy that we created in an early video to have an abstract base class. So the geometric object class is going to be abstract. Now what this means is we can't instantiate abstract classes. So we'll never have an object of type geometric object. We might have one of the subclasses, but not actually the superclass. Now, the reason we do this is because abstract classes allow us to define methods that subclasses have to implement. So if we have some common code inside geometric object, that's fine, but it means we need to have one of the subclasses that are implementing the missing methods. So this will make a lot more sense once we look at the class diagram for this class hierarchy, and here it is. So first thing you'll see is that we have geometric object, the superclass, and this is going to be an abstract class. Now, for the constructors, we're modifying them slightly. So instead of being public, they're going to be protected. Now, what that means is that only members of this class hierarchy can call the constructor for geometric object. And then we also have two methods that we're specifying inside here, getArea and getPerimeter. And these are going to be abstract methods. Now what that means is we've declared the method but don't have any method body. We haven't defined what the method does. What that means is that any subclasses of geometric object have to implement this method or else the compiler will complain. So again, we're going to have a circle and a rectangle that implements all of this. So with that, let's get started. In Eclipse, I've created a new project called Abstract Classes, and to this we're going to add a new class called Geometric Object. Okay, so I'll just maximize this. Now the first thing is we said that geometric object is going to be abstract. Now what that means in Java terms is we need to declare the class with the abstract keyword. Now our class is abstract, meaning we can never do this. Geometric object O equals new geometric object. We can't do this anymore because geometric object is abstract. Okay, so what does this class have? Well, private string color equals white, private boolean field, private java.util.date, date created. Okay, so now we're going to have our constructors, but they're going to be slightly different in that they're going to be protected. So instead of having the public keyword here, we have the protected keyword. And we'll just initialize date. Okay, and again for the other constructor, so protected geometric object, string color boolean field, initialize the date created object, this dot color equals color, this dot field equals field. Okay, next thing we're going to have some getters and setters for the color, so I'll just get Eclipse to create these for me. Okay, so the ones we're going to have a getter for color and a setter for color. We're going to have getters and setters for field, and we're going to have only a getter for get date created. Alright, and Eclipse has put all those in for us. That's fantastic. Now finally what we're going to have, well, okay, there's two things. One is the toString method that we're just going to quickly create. So public Now this is the exact same toString method as that was in an earlier video, so I'm just skipping over that real quickly. Now the other thing we've said is in our class diagram we've defined two abstract methods, getArea and getPerimeter. The reason we've done this is because we want to be able to find the area and the perimeter of all of our shapes. However, the problem is that calculating the area for a circle is completely different to how we calculate the area for a rectangle. So what we want is we want to force all of our shapes to implement this method, but we don't know how they are actually going to do it. So what we do in geometric object is declare an abstract method. So public abstract double get area, and all we have is a semicolon. So we're declaring the method but not actually implementing it. So public abstract double get perimeter. So they are our two methods that we're going to force the subclasses to define. So next, let's do that. So let's create a circle class. Now, first thing we're going to do is say that the circle extends from geometric object. Okay, now you'll notice here that it's complaining. Now, if we just have a look at the compiler errors from Eclipse, circle must implement these methods. Okay, easy. We've said that circle extends from geometric object, but we haven't implemented these methods, which means the compiler is going to complain. So that's how abstract methods kind of work. So real quickly, we'll write the circle class, which has a radius, a couple of constructors, so this one takes in a radius, okay, so we will have a getter and setter for radius. So I'll get Eclipse to generate that for me. One for radius. Okay, so there they are. Now, get area. Public double get area. Return radius multiplied by radius multiplied by math.py. Public double get perimeter. Return 2 multiplied by radius multiplied by math.py. Okay, so if we save that now, you can see that the compiler error has gone away because we've implemented these two methods. So we also have the print circle method from before, so I'm just going to copy and paste that to speed things along. And my formatting's messed up, but that's okay. So real quickly, next we also have to create the rectangle. So rectangle. Now this is going to extend from geometric object. Damn. Now if we do that when we create the class, Eclipse is going to put in some method stubs for us. So we know now that we need a get area and get perimeter method. I just wanted to demonstrate how Eclipse deals with this kind of thing. So rectangle. Private double width, private double height, public rectangle. That'll initialize width and height to 0. Public rectangle double width, double height. This dot width equals width. This dot height equals height. Okay, so we'll get some getters and setters for the width and height. So I'll get Eclipse to create those. Width and height. Okay, so now all that's left is these method stubs that Eclipse has put in. So we need to generate these for us. So how do we calculate the area of a rectangle? Well, return width multiplied by height. And the perimeter is just return 2 multiplied by width plus height. And that's it. So that's our rectangle class finished as well, implementing the abstract methods that were defined in geometric object. So finally now we should test this to make sure it works. So I'll create another class and we'll call this test geometric object. And we'll press finish. Now what I'm going to do here, just to speed things along, is I've got a main method that I'm just going to paste in here. Okay, so what have we got here? Well, apart from the fact that the formatting's a bit messed up, copy and pasting is interesting. We have a main method. Now what this is going to do is initialize two geometric objects. Notice that we're initializing a circle, we're creating a circle object and a rectangle object, and assigning these to geometric object variables. That's fine because circle and rectangle are geometric objects. Next what we're doing is comparing their area. So we have this method down here called equal area, which returns true if the areas are the same. So this takes in two geometric objects and calls their getArea method and then compares them. Now we're calling this method on geometric object 1 and 2. Now this is a circle and a rectangle. They have different implementations of getArea, but because we've defined this abstract method in the superclass, that works fine. It'll use the correct method implementation. Now finally, we're actually going to display the circle and display the rectangle. So what this is going to do is just print out some information about the geometric object. And again, we're calling getArea and getPerimeter, and the Java virtual machine is smart enough, the way polymorphism works, is it'll actually call rectangle and circles methods correctly. So let's just save that and try and run it. So run as Java application. Okay, the objects have the same area? False. That makes perfect sense because we can see here the area of the circle is 78 and the area of the rectangle is 15. So that worked fine. We had the correct area. Now if we did something like this, passed in geometric object 1 to both of these and run it again, yes, the areas are the same because we're actually passing in the same objects for both parameters. But there you go. This is how we can force functionality in subclasses by declaring abstract methods in our superclass. So just to summarize now, in this video we created an abstract geometric class. Now we declared getPerimeter and getArea methods that the subclasses have to implement. So these were abstract methods defined inside of geometric object. Now abstract classes cannot be instantiated. It doesn't make sense to have an object of type geometric object. We want an actual shape that we can use. So circle and rectangle were concrete classes that extended geometric object. Now this meant that circle and rectangle had to implement the abstract methods that were declared inside the abstract base class. So that's it for this video. Thanks a lot.